Welcome, everyone. I am so glad that you was able to join tonight to our webinar tonight titled Pivoting into Your Purpose. Listen, I am so excited to be able to share this awesome information tonight. Ooh, it has been something that I have really been thinking about. And when it dropped in me, I was like, oh, I'm so ready to drop this. I've been holding on to it. So if I start talking too fast, you hit me in the chats and be like, hold on, Coach Jay, slow it down for me. But we are going to get started right now. So, welcome to the webinar. Again, I appreciate all of you who have dropped in the comments that you are here. I appreciate you. Be sure to share where you're viewing from tonight. I appreciate that as well. I can't wait to see all where you are viewing from. You guys rock. You are amazing. And so we are going to dive on into it. So, introduction. All right. Let me tell you a little bit about me, Coach Jay, and this company. All right. So, as a certified life coach, my purpose is to mentor women through their life experiences and tap into themselves, their true self. All right. As a woman, I speak from experience concerning identity, confidence, learning to vocalize my needs and my wants. Listen, I mastered that thing, but it took me being intentional. And so that is why it is my purpose to help every woman tap into that space. Okay. I assist women through J Hall Consulting Services by coaching them on how to overcome their challenges that hold women back from being their best selves daily. So tonight, we will be discussing why you need to pivot into your purpose. Okay. Our main topic. And I was sitting there reflecting as I was thinking about it. I was like, but, there's some things, you know, as women, there's things that we need to do daily, right? And we may not always be in the right direction, but it be that pivot. All right, that pivot. So let's define pivoting tonight. Okay, let's define pivoting. So in the comments, in the chat, give me your definition of what you think pivoting is. Let's do that. So let me give you my definition as you're sharing your own. It is a mindset shift giving you the opportunity to walk into your purpose. So we know through life happens. Okay, someone says in the chat, make a turn. We know life happens, and sometimes we can get off track, get distracted, and we're going in a way that's taking us away from our purpose. You know what your purpose is, and if you don't, we definitely can find out. And someone else says in the chat that pivoting is change. So when we pivot, we have a goal in mind. We pivot, we are saying, wait, this ain't it, but I need to be going this way. So that pivot, no matter where you are, right? No matter what location you in, what space you're in, what season you in, that pivot allows you to go in that right direction, right? And so when you pivot, you're going to be in a positive mind space because guess what? The space shift that we was in before is not working. So we're going to shift towards the positive. Someone else says about face. Okay. Restart. Someone else says moving it into a new direction. Absolutely. When you are pivoting, you are moving into another direction. So everybody understands and everybody agrees that as part of this awesome webinar tonight, we're moving different, right? We're shifting. We're getting our balance and we're shifting and we're moving in the right direction. We're changing, we're doing the right thing as it pertains to you, right? Not what it pertains to someone else, but we're going to do it and move in to position that as it pertains to you. So pivoting, how do you get there? How do you pivot, right? So pivot starts with your why. All right. So, what is your why? Okay. Why do you need to pivot? Right. So, why do you need to pivot? What's happening in your life now that's causing you not to tap into your purpose? So, why do you need to pivot? It can be the pandemic that's happened over the course of the past couple of years. It's waking you up to be like, wait, I need to do something different. It's time to pivot. It could be stressors that happen, life, right? Causing you to be like, hey, I need to pivot. It could be your mental state, your mental health, what's going on right now in your life that's stressing you, depressing you, causing you to be in a place of anxiety. It could cause you to be like, listen, I got to do something different. I got to change something. It's time to pivot. So drop in the chat, what are some situations that caused you to move into this new phase, this place of clearly, hey, if you are here tonight, a pivot needs to happen, right? And even if you believe that you are in the right direction, kind of, sort of, not really, but is, our pivot can happen as many times as it needs to. Someone says stress is needing you to pivot. Absolutely. So no matter what, it's not so much the pivot is not so much some type of amazing plan that you have. The pivot is the path, right? And so if your path is, if you are forever growing, your path may forever change, right? You may have, we're going in one direction, but your purpose, you evolved and you're growing and you're just like, wait, yeah, I need to go this way instead. That's causing you to need to pivot. Someone says desire to grow. Someone says feeling stuck, needing assistance to move in a new direction. It is your tired of being sick and tired. Okay, I understand all of that. I absolutely understand all of that. So that is what we need to make sure when we a quote that I go by is pivoting for the dreams you never thought could come true. Pivoting is for the dreams that you never thought could come true. You are sitting here saying, you have the dreams, you have the vision, you have the thoughts. And I really feel like, you put it on a back burner. You can be like, this is the way I need to go, but right now isn't the time. This is my purpose, but right now is not a time. So you made it a dream or a vision or a thought, and you have tabled it, but something is burning on the inside of you saying, hey, it's time. I got to do it. And let me tell you something, pivoting is not for the perfect person. Pivoting is for the person who is just determined that it is time. You have made up in your mind that it's time for you to stop being stuck. It's time for you to stop being in this place of not knowing. It is time for you to move forward. So when it's time to pivot, let's get it out of our minds that we have to be this perfect person. Get it out of your mind that you have to be functioning in perfection in all areas, all cylinders in order to pivot. Pivoting means it's time to change directions. It's time for you to just move and move accordingly. No matter what anybody thinks, no matter anybody's opinion, you're just gonna move and move accordingly. All right. So yes, we have the stress because we're women. And if we have any males in here, because we are who we are, we have those things that causes us, life situations that causes us to be like, something has to give. Something has to change. I am tired of this. This is not making sense in my life. For me, this no longer makes sense. It made sense back in 2001. It made sense back in 2020. It made sense back in 2021. It even made sense maybe 5 months ago, but guess what? It don't make sense anymore. This is not aligning me with the dreams I've had. This is not aligning me with the vision I've had. This is not aligning me in the purpose that the person that I know I am authentically, right? It's aligning me with what someone else told me who I am. But this is not who I authentically am. I need to pivot into who I am as a person, right? So let me share with y'all. And if I'm going too fast, please let me know. But let me share with you what caused Coach J to pivot. All right. Mental health. I was depressed in a major way early on in my life. All right. I was a teen mom. Some of you may know my story, but if you don't, I was a teen mom. I went straight from being the high school graduate, right, to being mother, to being wife, to being everything that everybody needed me to be, and not knowing who I was. So I was so gun-ho, like going hard into being everything everybody else needed me to be. The fact that I didn't even know who I was, nor that I even know. So I took my identity as being mother. That's Jamesia. Server, somebody asked me to do something, I got you. I'm there, whatever you need. And I went into a state of depression because I never really understood or even knew how to go into those places of being me authentically. So I was depressed. I went and sought help. They gave me medication. It helped for a while, it helped for a long time, but I tell you, I fell on my face and seek God, and He got me out of my depression. That is not the case for everyone, but that is the case for me. So, with me knowing that I was in this dark place, shouldn't no one go through a place where they feeling less than or not worthy, or that their feelings are valid? And those was places that I was at. I felt like my feelings wasn't valid. I felt like I didn't know what I was coming and going, but I just knew that what I was supposed to do was what I was supposed to do. My grandparents and parents was like, hey, this is what you supposed to. No, you're not supposed to do that. That is not you. So I went through those places, but that wasn't me. What their identity of me was not me. So I was depressed. Okay. Jamesia at the time had to pivot. There was no way that I knew there was more for me, but I didn't know what that more was. So I had to intentionally figure out, I cannot be in this place. This cannot be life for me to be sad every single day. This cannot be the place of, I'm supposed to be happy. I want to know what happiness feels like. So pivoting for me was me getting out of that dark place of depression. I had to do it. I had to do it. And I had to do it because doing that helped me move into my purpose, right? And so another thing that helped me move into my purpose, the pandemic. Being home gave me time to think about becoming more creative. I knew that there was more for me than to working for someone else. I knew that about myself. I had a child care facility, but the region that I was in The child care facility didn't work for me. The people where I was at, they didn't work much. The only way that my child care was going to be successful is if I got on subsidy. I didn't want the government telling me what I needed to do, and how I needed to do it from my child care, because that's just what I wanted to do. So I was a private paying child care, but not really a lot of people was, working. That's just what it is. All right. And so I went into the school system. I was working in the school system. And so now here I am. COVID allowed me to wake up and say, you can work for yourself and be successful. But I had to pivot. I had to understand that a change needed to happen, because where I was at working in the school system, I was a substitute teacher. Substitutes didn't get an unemployment check. So how was I going to bring some income in? I pivoted and created my own business. And now I'm successful with my own business because of the change that needed to happen. I had to pivot. And finding me, let me tell you, I was doing something not too long ago, and I was sharing something with Moments with Coach Jay. And if you are on a platform, and you will see it on my social media platforms, that I wasn't always confident. I wasn't always vocal. I wasn't always bold, right? Because I didn't know if I was supposed to speak when I was about to speak. I didn't know whether it was okay to say the things that I said in certain situations. I didn't even know if it was okay for me to feel certain things based off how I was told to feel, right? So realizing that there's more than the titles that I hold, I had to pivot. I had to find out who Jamesia was. I had to find out that Jamesia deserves to be her authentic self. The world deserves to see the authentic me in this world, along with you. The world deserves to see everybody that is in this webinar tonight, the authentic you. You are to be the light in every situation that you show yourself. You were uniquely made for a purpose. And so the world deserves to see that. Does everybody get where I'm saying? Let me know you're still here. Let me know you're still here in the chat. Hit me with some ones. Let's do that. Hit me with some ones in the chat. Let me know you're still here. So what you have to do to start moving in your purpose, all right? You have to make a decision. When you decide to pivot, you will begin to move differently. I promise. When you decide to pivot and when you start moving differently, it's going to cause others to question what's going on with you. And when people do that, what do you have to remember? Is your why. Okay? I have experienced that recently, and I'm so glad that I'm able to share this tonight, because he knew, right? The pivot is going to cause you, when you walk into a room, your presence is going to show up before anything you say. All right. Your confidence, your posture. As you join, please mute yourself. Your posture, how you move, is going to definitely show up in the room. It's going to definitely show up in the room. And there are going to be some people who had their expectations are how you should be as a person, who's not going to be able to handle the person who just pivoted. They're not going to be able to handle the amazing you who had goals and decided, I'm not moving in direction no more. I'm going to move in this direction to show a different side of me, the true me, the person that everybody should see every single day, the person that I want to see every single day. So when you start moving different, be prepared, honey. Listen, let me tell you, be prepared. But let's say this here. When you pivot into your purpose, Nothing is going to ever stop you. No one could ever stop you. Nothing could ever stop you from functioning in that purpose. Because why? There was experiences, there was journeys, there was intentionalities. Yeah, whatever. There was things that you did intentionally, and you was being consistent. You worked on you day and night to be the authentic you that everybody should see. Your purpose, right? So when you're focusing into your purpose, when you pivot into your purpose, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. Only thing matters is you being you and showing the world who you are authentically in your purpose. We're getting rid of the stress, getting rid of being stuck, getting rid of not knowing your identity, getting rid of the fact that you know there's a bigger plan ahead of you that you're not tapping into. You're going through the motions every single day and you're not tapping into it. And so now it's time to pivot with your imperfect self. You about to be amazing, and you are amazing in your imperfectness because of your pivot, because there was a purpose for you. No one's perfect. We just have a purpose. All right. But the pivot, listen, y'all hit me in the comments with the pivot, because I don't care where you are in your life right now. I don't care where you are in your life right now. That pivot, sis, let me tell you, it speaks. That pivot. I don't care if it's someone who is homeless right now. That pivot, that person asking for help. I don't care if that person is someone who is depressed, who has anxiety. I understand that. I've been there. But it's the pivot. I don't care if you don't know how to vocalize who you are. I don't care if you don't know who you are right now. But it's the pivot. The pivot. You have the power to change your circumstances and to move into your purpose based off your pivot, not someone else's, not how somebody else changed. Don't look at somebody beside you, your cousin, your bestie, whoever she may be, and saw her pivot and change, and you thinking your pivot looks like hers. It doesn't. Why? Because you're unique. Right? So you need to understand that your pivot is your pivot, and the pivot, I meant that. It ain't a pivot, it's the pivot, your pivot. Own it. You see what I'm saying? So in conclusion, hit me in the chat with your takeaway from tonight, what you pulled from our pivoting into our purpose. But what I need for you to understand, what I promise you, this is what I need you to understand. There are steps to the pivot, and they are 4 steps that I have created for you to step into your pivot. But although I've created these steps, they are unique in your way, right? So there are 4 steps in pivoting into your purpose. Y'all ready for it? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Also, don't forget to drop in the chat what your takeaways were so far. But there are 4 steps. You need to find your why. Why do you need to pivot? Okay? Why do you, your amazing self, why do you need to pivot? Second step, plan it out. Determine what needs to change and write it out. Yeah, we ain't about that life of knowing a plan and keeping it in our head, because guess what? What is that? That is a dream. That is a vision. But until we plan it out, write it out, and make it plain for ourselves, okay? I don't care whether you are typing it in your notes in your phone or you write it on a piece of paper. We have to strategically plan it out. And then we prioritize. We prioritize, we create obtainable goals, making steps in the new direction. All right. We make a plan, but now we have to create the goals strategically that we know that can be obtained like it needs to be for our purpose in our pivot. All right. And so then the fourth step is we move forward with confidence, knowing that you are doing what you are purposed to do. Moving forward in your pivot. Out of that pivot, you pivot, and we moving forward with these 4 amazing steps. Now, everybody can't do these steps without help. Whether you feel like you can or not, sometimes it takes stepping bold into your purpose, focus on your pivot and why everyone isn't the same. Absolutely. So, but we have to step and know that, hey, sometimes I need help, because if I could have done it on my own, I may have very well already been pivoting. All right. But I am here tonight to let you know you are amazing. You're capable, you're bold, you're all the things that you have put in your mind or thought about that you are. You are all those amazing things. But I, Coach J, am here to help you. If you need accountability, if sometimes you say, I'm trying to find my why, I don't know what it is, Coach J can help you do that. If you need planning it out, we can strategically plan it out. I can give you the accountability that you need to prioritize and help you come up with a plan to execute to move forward. All right. Coach J can help you do that. So tonight I want you to sign up for our full masterclass. We will go through in that masterclass the 4 steps in pivoting to your purpose. Okay. 4 amazing steps. What I just showed you is for helping you to pivot into your purpose. Why you need a masterclass is because everybody needs someone to help guide them through, help teach them, help mentor them, coach them. All right. That is what I'm here for. So pivoting into your purpose masterclass, it begins August the 15th. It goes through the 18th. We meet Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. via Zoom. And all you have to do is invest $100. And we're going to have, let me tell you what Coach J is going to do. You're going to have the results you need to move forward in your pivot. That is what I bring to the table. I bring you the results. I am your accountability partner. I am the person who is going to help you pivot. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care. We're not perfect, but let me tell you something. That pivot will have you walking 10 toes down, bold, confident, walking in your authentic self towards your purpose in a way that you would have never thought was possible. All right. And I want you, because I'm really strong on affirmations, know that, listen, every single day of your life, you need to show up. This is something that I remind myself. There's quite a few affirmations, but listen, today, every single day, I show up to walk into my purpose. All right. And if I need to pivot, if the plan change, I change the plan. I change my path. I pivot as much as I need to so that I am continuing to walk in my purpose, because guess what? Okay. The world deserves the authentic me, and the world deserves an authentic you. I want you guys to have an amazing night. I want you to follow up, message me. You can sign up for our masterclass by going to awomensexperience.com and sign up there. You will go to coaching. It will pop up for you, but you can go to coaching and go to class, and that masterclass is there. Sign up tonight. This class is originally $150, but tonight, for all my webinar attendance, it is $100 for you. Monday, starting August 15th through the 18th. Have an amazing night. And so I'm so grateful and thankful that you joined.